Welcome everyone to Takeover United Pod, where we take over your weekend with all the things of the most depressing big club in the world. We should probably stop calling us as a big club at this point. That is Manchester United. We've been off for a couple of weeks again, but we are back and we wanted to come to you with post-match reactions and analysis of the game that just finished. Manchester
hmm
United lost by 3 goals to nil to Manchester City at the Etihad. And it was a stunning capitulation, wasn't it, Somdeep? Like, this is a team, Man City, I mean, is a team that has been struggling to find form this season or any kind of cohesion, right? They've
That's
been
right. Yeah.
they've been found out by much lesser teams, right? um, they are actually only eighth in the table because this was their second win in 4 games. So they're not been
Yeah.
doing well this season. They lost 2 games this season already. They lost to Tottenham and they've lost to what was the other one? Burnley? No, Brighton, sorry. So they did beat Wolves 4-0, but they lost 2-0 to Spurs and they lost 2-1 to Brighton. And they were what pretty bad in the table. But yeah, once again, United comes to the rescue. And a 3-0 victory over us at the Etihad, thumping win for the citizens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
what do you think, Somdeep? Is this enough for the Amorim defenders, or are they going to still continue supporting him till I don't know we get relegated or something?
like we went into the derby with City beneath United for the
Yes.
first time in quite some time. Of course,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean much because it's early days and
Right.
we were just 3 games in. So you don't really have a full picture of what these teams are going to look like. But I can't say we're surprised, are we, Pratyush? At least not the two of us.
No, we're
Um,
not.
I feel like we've been harping on this again and again, but we don't think Cameron is the best fit for United. We didn't think the summer transfer window was as good as everyone's been making it out to be for United specifically. And I do think, though, that this is a Manchester City side that is going through a transition. If you look at their signings, I think they've spent just shy or around 500 million since winter alone, which is quite something. Um, so not being able to beat them, I think, shows where United are right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, like, is this going to be enough to convince everyone who wants Amram to be United's manager? Is it going to be enough to make them understand that maybe this isn't the best approach? I do think we're going to have to wait for relegation, and I worry that when that day comes and he does relegate United, everyone's going to phrase it as, wow, this is the exact rebuild we needed to
Yeah.
build this club back from scratch.
They'll bring some stupid
Uh,
stat from the 70s when you got relegated and say, hey, look where we are today, or I don't know, man. It,
yeah. This is I believe United's worst start to a season since 1992-93. Uh, of course, I'm not happy to hear that stat, not because we're not doing well, which I think was clear to anyone going into the year, but because that's inevitably going to be used to compare Ruben Amorim to Sir Alex Ferguson. And I'm not entirely sure why or what the basis for these comparisons are, but they exist and they are incredibly common.
yeah. I mean, I just saw one of those comparisons to the international break where
Mhm.
supposedly, Amorim had similar points in his first, I don't know, 30, 35 games to Alex Ferguson. I really didn't verify that stat, but because I really didn't pay much heed to it because it's a bullshit stat, whichever way, however you try to massage it, right? Football is very different from 1989 or 1990 whenever Sir Alex started with us. It's a very different
Um,
sport. The club is very different. United was not a commercial juggernaut back then. United
Right.
was
That's
not a
true.
team that was fighting in the top places. Like Sir Alex inherited a very broken and dysfunctional United side, whereas this United side just 2 seasons ago came third or second under Eric Ten Hag. Third, I think,
Yeah,
right?
they were third. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we know what this side is capable of given the right tactic or right management. It's not a bad it's not a bad side by itself, right? So like Somdeep, if you look at the just if you look at the players who started today, right?
Right.
Um so if you just look at the players who started today, which is let's say um I'll ignore the goalkeeper because he's never really come highly rated. But if uh, if you look at the others, whether it's Delict, again, came pretty well rated from Bayern Munich. Lenny Yoro, one of the best youth centre backs of his generation, supposedly. We have Mbumo, we have Mazraoui, again, two very good players. You have Ahmad Diallo, again, very, very well rated. You have Bruno Fernandes, like, come on, are you telling me these players are not good? Maybe sure. Like I would even say that Ugarte, who we love to troll, is still
Right.
not as bad a player as this manager, makes out to be. He was in that PSG side. I mean, sure, he was not the best player in that PSG side, but he was still much better than whatever is he plays today. Um, so, and even Benjamin Sesko, like, sure, are you telling me Benjamin Sesko is a player that you know deserves to be in a side playing who is 14th in the table?
uh, to contextualize United struggles this season and in this game specifically,
Yeah.
I want to highlight, like before coming to that, I want to highlight a little bit about West City are, because I think that's such an important part of like how we're measuring now. Uh, of course, like I said, City are were beneath United in the table before this game, right? Um, Now here's the thing, let's look at City's defense, right?
Hmm.
At right back, we have Kusanov, who
Yeah.
started, who's originally a centre back. He just arrived in January
Right.
from Lens in the French league. We have Nico O'Reilly, who's come through the academy, playing at left back, and he's a talented left back, but that's not his only position. And but he does a good job fitting in there, right? He typically inverts into midfield from there, which is one of his strengths.
Hmm.
At centre back, we have Ruben Dias, who has had ups and downs in his performances recently. He did sign a new contract, but and there's also Josko Guardiola, a
Yeah.
very talented player and a very good player with the occasional mistake in him. So I want to point out that this is very much a makeshift Manchester City defense.
Yeah. It's not
Even
the juggernaut that we've seen in the past, right?
exactly, and even with the problems in their overall squad,
Hmm.
this isn't even representative of their overall squad because uh, Reinhard Nori is out with an injury.
Yeah.
Nathan Ake uh, couldn't play. And they recently saw the departure of Manuel Akanji to Inter. So uh, this isn't exactly a City side at its strongest,
And they're
right?
also
It's
having
very much
struggles between the sticks, just like United, right? They
absolutely they've
Edison left. They got James Trafford, who turned out to be not so good. And they splashed the cash for Donnarumma, who
Mhm.
again
Yeah.
really wasn't looking very convincing today either.
I think he made like one or two really good saves from Brian Mbuemo, among others. One particularly stood out where Mbuemo curled one to the far post and he pulled off a brilliant stop. But uh, on the ball, there were certainly moments where he looked like he picked the wrong pass.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think United's press and Amorim's setup wasn't so geared towards extracting those errors from him, and we kind of let him get away with it. and he grew in confidence as we sort of sat off him and gave him time on the ball. Early on in the game, United did press Donnarumma more aggressively, and it was leading to moments of danger for us. But for whatever reason, that didn't sustain. And I think part of that was with how reserved we were in our game plan. I didn't feel like we were trying to force the win. It felt more like we wanted to absorb pressure
Mm.
and create something on the counter against City, which isn't the worst plan, but you also have to factor in their weaknesses. And uh, we talked about their makeshift backline, right? Let's talk about the midfield, because I feel like there's a lot of transition they're going through there. They've got Rodri, just came back from injury. He's settling in. Of course, he's Rodri, but
Yeah.
he needs a little time to settle in.
I mean, they do
They
have
have
Foden who scored today.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like Rodri just came back from injury. Foden's had his own injury and
Mm.
health issues
Right.
for the best part of the last year, and he has really struggled with his form. So the fact that they played Bernardo, Rodri, and Tejani in midfield and still managed to outwork United off the ball is
Yeah,
concerning to me.
they also have Reinders, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Who I think is an incredible player. We know all about him. Like he's got that box to box attacking ability and everything. But
but again, he's a
I
new
look at them.
player, kind of settling into the
Yes,
squad. He still hasn't
yes,
been that, and compared to City's midfield like a couple of seasons ago, man. Like,
exactly. I mean, this is a good side, but this isn't a side that is impossible to get at. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not comment. Like I think this is a City side that has a lot of goals in them, and we saw that today thanks to United. United's defending, but I also think this is a City side that has the ability to concede a lot of goals, and we've seen teams do that already this season. They've proven that. Uh, the one constant and the one player where City can count on is of
uh-huh.
course Erling Haaland up front.
Yep.
We all like. I think we even said this before the game that he's certainly going to score today, and he did exactly that. Uh, all I'm trying to highlight is that we've seen some incredible Manchester City sides. As much as it pains me to admit that, but we've seen them right from I think 2017 onwards till I would say till 2024.
Mm.
But right now, in this moment in time, this is I think the biggest transition I've seen City undergo with Pep at the helm. It is shocking to me that United didn't even leave the tiniest imprint on the game, given City's own set of troubles. Because I'd say United were probably like in a better frame of mind than City going into this game. They had a fairly convincing win against Burnley the other night. So why do you think that none of that confidence translated?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like, I mean, I did, like we discussed that day as well. Not on the pod, but
Right.
off it. But
Yeah.
it was just Burnley, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But they have beaten. It's strange, but I think they beat Man City at some point, right? This season, or maybe I'm wrong.
No, no, not this season. I think Brighton beat City this season.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Burnley has
I
not beaten them
confused it
yet.
wrong.
But again, I know we beat Burnley 3-2, but
Right.
we respected them too much, to put it mildly. Like,
I agree.
we
Yeah.
we should have been winning that game much more comfortably, right? If I just go to that Burnley game, which was just before the break, so
Mm-hmm.
we started the game, if you remember, with an own goal, right? Josh Cullen hit an own goal,
Yes.
and we were joking that we still
Yes.
can't hit a goal from open play, because I think at that point we
Yeah.
still hadn't accepted a penalty and scored an open play goal, if I don't remember correctly. And then
Yeah.
Burnley equalized later in the second half. They made it 1-1. Uh, then Boomo took us ahead to 2-1. And then
Mm-hmm.
Burnley equalized again less than 10 minutes later. And they made it 2 all.
Right.
And it's just that in the dying minutes of extra time that Bruno got a penalty. And of course, Bruno never misses penalties. I mean, he rarely misses, I should say. So I remember the capital, the League Cup. But
Yeah, yeah. I'm remote back to differ. Yeah.
yeah, but so Bruno in the dying minutes of the game made it 3-2, right? And that's why we won that
Right.
game. We were not winning that
Yeah.
game either. And
I think against that game, right? Sorry, in that game,
yeah,
there were a lot of things that went in our favor. Of course, part of it being that uh, I think Burnley respected United a lot. They just, to some extent, they sat off United, especially in the
mm,
first half, and that gave Bayern the room to pass into, and just gave our players time to grow into the game, right? Uh, and we racked up a lot of XG as well. Like it shows, I think more than half our XG this season came in that Burnley game
yeah.
until today's match. The other problem, though, there was, like you said, Burnley had a lot of chances of their own. They scored 2 goals. They created a lot of opportunities, and
No, I will stop you there, Sandeep. They were really not that good that game. They had 6 shots. We had 26. And we also had way
yeah,
more shots on target. We had six shots on target, but we just couldn't finish. And
yeah, but
also it
we
felt
had.
no, one thing, and it just felt that if you look at some of the shots that we tried that day,
Mhm. Mm.
many times the way the players are isolated, despite us getting a shot or a good shot, it felt that if we
Okay.
had, say, a different tactic or a different way of progressing the ball, we could have finished, right? Because maybe we
Yeah.
would have another player in the box who would get the rebound or something. I don't know. It just felt a very bad setup, even though we were getting shots and all the United fans were going crazy, saying, "Hey, we are looking good. We're creating so many chances." But the quality of chances still
Right.
felt very lacking to me that game.
Yeah, I think that's the theme of a lot of things we've done, because let's look at there are two reasons for this, but let's look at it from the numbers against Burnley and then kind of go to those reasons, right?
Hmm.
It's like you said, we had around 20 shots against Burnley, like roughly, and around 3 xg, right? Is the total we worked out. That works out to around 0.15 xg per shot.
Yeah.
uh, I
Hmm.
could be wrong, but I think that's what it works out to. Burnley had 6 shots,
And we had a
right?
penalty in that as well.
Oh, right. I'm not counting the penalty. I've removed it from the calculations.
Okay.
And the penalties, that's why I said 3 xg, because the actual value was
I
around
see.
3.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And Burnley had 6 shots, but they had 1.2 xg,
Hmm.
right? So the average quality of their chances was zero point 0.2 xg per shot. And for us, it was 0.15. So
Great.
one of the ways in which we rack up a lot of threat is exactly how you said. We get into somewhat dangerous situations, but it's typically a half chance, or it's a chance on the back of a very rushed move.
Hmm.
So, the biggest reason we, I don't think, are going to score a lot of goals consistently, and we still aren't. The first reason is because of the half chances,
Right.
like you said, right? There's a lot of half chances. There's a lot of rushed traffic that we're trying to score in, uh, which helps us create some of those chances, but also means that we're often off balance while shooting. And the other big reason is we don't have a Haaland or a Salah or an Isak, or we don't even have a Wissa or a Watkins,
All
right?
we have is
We,
Embumo.
yeah, I'm aware that Brian Mbeumo scored 20 goals last season, and Cunha had, I think, 14 or something thereabouts. But if you look at the overall graph of their careers, they aren't players who've consistently scored a high number of goals, right? Like
Or even
these two
consistently
seasons.
overperform the XG. We bought.
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah,
like
that's
you
a
said
great
earlier,
point.
Somdeep,
Yeah.
right? I mean, off the pod.
Mm-hmm.
We bought
Mm-hmm.
the two players from last season who outperformed their XG the most in the Premier League. And
Yes.
this season, we're going to probably or likely see them revert to the mean because they know Erling Haaland to continue or Mo
Yeah.
Salah to continuously outperform their XG. So we will, and especially in this United tactical setup, we will see them revert to the mean in XG, which would mean a potentially underperforming XG season for all intents and purposes.
Which is exactly what's happening. But
Yeah,
like the four games we've seen so far, they back up exactly what you
yeah.
said, right? Uh, I don't think it's a surprise. Everyone's saying like, "Oh, we're playing well and we're missing chances," but
I mean, it's
I
the
think we're
same thing that
playing.
happened to Garnacho last season, right? He had a XG outperformance the season before, and then he just kind of reverted back last season, and we kind of raked him over the coals for that.
I think the previous season he was sort of in line with his XG.
One of the
The
seasons, I think.
the previous one,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But
I think
then
the
last
first
season
10
he,
season,
yeah. But then last season he underperformed like crazy.
massively.
Uh, Maybe to an extent where he won't ever underperform again because like he was missing like chances left, right, center. But is that really so crazy for a 20-year-old player?
Right.
I don't think so. I think a 20-year-old winger who is getting into those kind of attacking
Mm.
positions, I think that itself is wonderful. He still racked up 21 goals and assists last season. So that level of production at that age in such a poor team is, I
Yeah.
think, still very commendable. And a team which for most of the season didn't play with wingers, didn't actually play him in a role he's used to. Uh, of course, he was erratic, but he wasn't the worst. But all right, I'm digressing. I think the two reasons are one, like you said, the half chances, the
Yeah.
rushed nature of the system, uh, and it's difficult, right? Because we won't even have those half chances without the rushed nature of the system, because
Yeah.
you don't have any other ways of building up from the back. Uh, Ruben uses this strategy called the up back through is, and the entire game model is built on that. It's a very common game model, a part of everyone's game model. The difference is other teams aren't so dependent on that one thing.
Mm.
That's it's one of their schemes, but it's our primary scheme. What's an up back through? It's you you the player receives the ball in deep and build up, and they play a pass up,
Mm.
right, to a player in front of them. The player in front of them passes it back to someone they're facing. They're facing their own goal, so they pass it back.
Right.
So it's like a defensive midfielder receives the ball and he plays it back to one of the defenders. That's the back.
Mm.
And then the minute one of the defensive line receives the ball, they play a first time through ball, up back through. Right now, if you look carefully at a lot of Manchester United's build up with Ruben Amorim, an overwhelming majority of how we play is an up back through in some form,
Mm.
and the forward pass either comes from the goalkeeper who is not being pressed, or it comes from one of the wide men or one of the wide center backs
Mm.
or wing backs releasing a through ball
Right.
first time.
Mm.
And this is virtually all our build up. So yeah, if we didn't play these kind of passes very quickly in a rushed system, we won't even create the chances that so it's a tricky one. The second reason we're not getting goals is, again, the second reason you said, that we didn't sign clinical scorers. We signed players who've scored some goals last season, and that's it. There's no other evidence of them being regular high XG uh, performers. Players who rack up a lot of XG and who come close to matching it. Uh, and the problem with that approach is it means when you're going to put them in situations where they should probably score,
Mm.
you're going to start seeing that they're probably not going to score because that's not the nature of their careers. uh, we didn't love the transfer window, right? Like I think I feel like this is a concern you and I have been expressing throughout the summer
Yeah.
for United. What do you think of the expenditure from the summer?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We've been saying, right? We bought two number 10s for large
Mhm.
amounts of money. And again, the two
Yeah,
players who were the highest XG or one of the two of the most XG overperformers in the Premier League last season,
yeah,
which
by far.
by far, right? And it's okay if you buy one such player, but then you buy two such players, right? So
Yeah.
now you have spent a significant amount of your budget on that. And then
Mhm.
everyone knew, I'm pretty sure even Amorim knew that we needed a out and out clinical goal scorer at the top,
Yes, we
and
did.
yet we went for you know another future potential. I'm not yet writing off Sesko, but
Right, right.
I will just say Hoyland had a much better start to his United career. Uh,
He
uh,
did. Yeah,
yeah,
he absolutely did. I think,
right.
and
So yeah, so what I'm saying is three of the players that we bought were this, right?
mhm.
And I think at some point we should probably do a transfer review pod, but like three of our players with this, and then I think a light turned off, Sandeep. Um,
Oh yeah,
and apart from that, who else? We got Diego Leon. He
oh
has not even seen a football pitch yet, and that's what we didn't get a midfielder. We got a goalkeeper again who's not starting. Again, a very raw young goalkeeper. Honestly, I don't expect him to step in right away and start delivering. We probably
absolutely. Yeah,
by then
yeah.
probably will be our number one at least till December, till the winter um, window. So
Hmm.
so this is my thing, right? We really did not fix any issues that we were having, and I know Amaram defenders will say, "Oh, we came 15th in the table last season. Guess why? But we came 15th in the table last season. So why would a top player come to us?" To that I say, well, why do you think we came 15th in the table last season? And there
Yeah,
was a solution to make top players come to us.
get a top manager.
Exactly. Nobody just wants to recognize that. The solution to that was simple: fire Amorim and get someone else. Get someone
I,
who players would be excited to play for. Like, I mean, Cunha and Embumo, both of them signed for United despite having offers from other clubs, simply because United is a bigger club. But
yes,
that will not be true
yes.
for every player, right? Like
It
somebody
isn't
like
for
a
most players.
Gyökeres or and some other center forward that we could have gotten. Do you remember
Ekitike.
Somdeep? Yeah, Ekitike. Do you remember Somdeep? Like in years past, even when United would finish, say, sixth or seventh, we
Hmm.
still used to get top players because, and sure, many times didn't work out, but that's like a whole other discussion why that didn't work out. But we still used to get top players who would, forego Champions League football at other clubs and come to us and play Europa or sometimes not even Europa because of the manager, right? We saw it
Yeah,
with we saw it with Van Hal, we saw it with Mourinho, um, we saw it
we
with
even saw it with
Ole.
Ole.
Yeah, we saw it with Ole
Yeah,
because I mean, for all the crap he gets from the fan base, he got us top four and he is a legend as a player. So obviously, players wanted to come play for him because
yeah.
they probably thought
And
they will get the Sir Alex, philosophy and experience from him. And
yeah,
even at Ten Hag, people forget. I mean, we criticize Ten Hag now for all the right reasons, but Ten Hag was a much better manager than Amorim before coming to United, right?
I mean, uh, I mean, Ten Hag was hated by the fan base for finishing eighth, and okay, fair. But the guy who replaced him finished 15th, right?
I
And
mean,
it's not like they had dramatically different
like
squads. I'd argue they had
the funny
very
thing
similar
is,
squads.
the board fired at Ten Hag in the third season. I mean, last season because
Mhm.
the club was on a downward trajectory, and they
Like,
at least
yeah,
lately, I mean, they were late, but they rightly assessed that the club was not going in a direction they wanted it to go.
hmm,
But don't you see that now?
I don't think they've handled any of their selections or departures well because
Yeah.
I think we agree that the right time to ask Ten Hag to leave was right after the FA Cup,
Hmm.
after the final. Uh, Spurs won the Europa,
And
but
fire their
they
manager.
showed the guts. Yeah, and but they still showed the guts to fire their manager.
I mean, even
Uh,
United did that, man. We fired Van Gaal right after winning an FA Cup. The ink cannot even dry on the
yeah,
trophy.
and and to be fair, at that point in time, it was probably the correct decision
Yeah.
because Uh, there were improvements that came with Mourinho. I'm not saying they were great, but they did exist. And
He got
even
a
if they
second,
hadn't, it
man.
didn't mean, yeah. And if it didn't, even if there were no improvements from Mourinho, it doesn't mean Van Gaal was the right pick.
Yeah.
Here's the strange duality of Manchester United, right? Especially within the fan base. Everyone agrees that our squad
Mm.
isn't the best,
Mm.
largely due to our recruitment, largely due to the choices made by the
Right.
club's management structure in buying players, right?
Yeah.
Who picks the managers?
Yeah. And no, I'll ask you this, Sandeep. Like, sure,
Like,
our
no, who also picks the
yeah, I
managers?
mean, the
That's my question.
management.
Right. So if we can all agree in unison that
Yeah.
they do a terrible job picking
Mm.
players and fitting them to our needs, uh, why is it so crazy to think that they make the same mistake with
Yeah.
managers?
And
Like,
I'll ask you this, Sandeep. Like, sure,
yeah,
people can say our side is not good enough or blah blah blah.
right.
But like
Fair.
we earlier discussed in the pod, these are not
Mhm.
players that should be in a side finishing 15th or 14th in the table. So who is responsible for that? Right? Like
Are they?
even if you look at
Yeah.
today's starting lineup,
Hmm.
this is a side that has for midfielders players like Casemiro, Mainu, and all these other players. And
Right.
and yet who did we start in midfield today? Bruno Fernandes.
And not midfield. We started him in very much defensive
Yeah,
midfield
yeah,
because
that's what I mean midfield, because the tens are more like attackers in this formation. So
I, I saw
like
him
you have a
spend more time
pivot of
defending our box
Bruno, you have a pivot of
and
Bruno and
Ugarte.
Ugarte, right? How is that
Yeah,
going to work?
I don't know. It makes me question. Like, I think you have to see football through a very clouded lens
Yeah.
to think that this is the solution to any
Hmm.
kind of problem in the Premier League.
Right. And now the
It's
fan base is blaming Bruno, saying, "Oh, Bruno doesn't do well in big games. Oh, Bruno has regressed. Oh, Bruno this. Oh, Bruno that." I mean, fair, Bruno may have regressed. He's 31 and he's playing non-stop for the past decade. But also,
yeah, but he's playing defensive
yeah,
midfield.
he's playing defensive midfield. What do you expect?
And here's the thing: I saw Bruno's having to spend more of his time in today's game, Mark, trying to track Haaland's runs in our own box versus trying to spot the runs of our attackers into their box.
Yeah.
We weren't even set up that way. I don't feel like there was much of an attacking game plan beyond trying to get those up back throughs,
Hmm.
which I think City neutralized. They figured that, like, they dropped their line a little deeper and they figured that that's going to prevent most of our transitions, and it did. And secondly, like, Bruno, like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, why do we want Bruno doing defensive midfield shifts beyond a point? Like, he doesn't have, that's not his strength. We're losing his creativity, and we're probably also giving up goals because
Yeah.
there are runners that he's missing. And all of that's even before coming to the fact that he picked Manuel Ugarte over Casemiro or Manuel. Like, to me, that's unthinkable. And I, like, there have to be players within the squad
Yeah.
thinking that, because Casemiro has been brilliant. Like, you can say whatever about Meno and be like, okay, this manager
And
doesn't pick him, right? But
Casemiro,
Casemiro has been outstanding for Amarim every game, right? Like, and the data proves that, the performances prove that, what we see on the pitch proves that he has been absolutely remarkable. So it's bad enough that he thought
hmm,
Manu isn't a better fit for this game, but to pick Ugarte over both of them,
yeah.
uh,
And Casemiro is fresh, man. Casemiro
yeah, yeah,
had a suspension for Brazil's second game in the international break. So he came back early to
yes,
Carrington. So he hasn't played in a week. So
yes,
there's no excuse. And at least, I mean, so far this season, Amorim's excuse
right.
was, hey, I want to play all our three summer signings up top, right? Now Cunha's injured.
Mhm.
What is your excuse to be playing Bruno in
Exactly.
midfield? You could have played
His
Bruno.
solution,
You could have played Bruno and Mbumo, as number tens. Put Ahmad as
absolutely.
right wing back and drop Mazra to
Yes.
right centre back, and drop one of Shaw Delict. Like, there's no reason to
Yeah,
play this
yeah.
formation,
Probably
the
sure. Like,
lineup that we played today. Yeah, probably Shaw. So
yeah.
it just boggles the mind, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
guess, about Bruno. Guess, uh, and I know some United fans would probably vilify me for saying this, but
Okay.
guess which other player we played out of position for like 5 seasons and then criticized him for not being good enough.
Paul Pogba.
Exactly.
Every game,
Every
right?
game.
The, they both look
And he
like we
still
can
was
wrap
our
it.
best DM in that side by a mile because who were next to him?
Yeah,
Fred, Scott McTominay. None of them are number sixes, right? They're all
yeah.
box to box attacking midfielders who are all like McTominay is doing excellent now because he's in being played in
McTominay is like
position.
yeah. McTominay is like the archetype of like the box crashing 10,
Yeah,
right?
we
Like he's like
keep
the
getting
perfect example.
midfielders who are not meant to play number six and keep playing them as number six because this side has not bought a number six in a decade, except Nemanja Matic, and that's when we saw a glorious United for that one
Yeah,
season.
because we paired Matic with Pogba,
Exactly,
and
which is perfect.
I believe Herrera was also there, and of course we finished second because
Yeah,
our fundamentals automatically improved.
yeah,
Right?
and same
They
thing
weren't good
during
enough to
Ole
win the
as well. We
title.
played Pogba, Herrera, and all these guys.
Yeah, and what the other thing that happened in Ole's tenure was Rashford suffered a long time injury, and that was a big loss because he was playing incredibly well and getting a lot of goals and assists for us. But what happened in that period was that because of his injury, Pogba was forced to play on as the left-sided winger or midfielder, wing fielder, and it's a popular term now. And because of that, we just inadvertently put Bruno and Pogba in their best positions in
Yeah,
close proximity, and we put Cavani in front of them. Of course, things are going to improve. If you put players in areas that they are naturally better at, your team will see better results. That's just how things work, right? Like, uh, why was Zidane such a great manager? Or like, why is he done so well? The first season when he arrived, right?
mm,
Madrid were in terrible shape. They were, I think, sixth or something, and they had two terrible managers back to back in Solari and Benitez. His stint at Madrid was not good.
yeah,
Of course, he was great at Liverpool. One of the first things Zidane did was Casemiro, I think, was either out on loan at Porto or he was in the second team in Castilla, and he's like, I've got Cruz, I've got Modric. Who's doing the ground coverage for them? Where's the balance,
mm,
right? So the first thing he did was he made Casemiro a regular in his team, and he's like, I'm going to play a midfield three because without three players, we don't have enough legs to cover thing in the middle,
right.
and I can't drop Benzema, Bale, or Cristiano. So all three of them have to start. So the team kind of picks itself. Of course, that manager is going to do better than however tactically great the
Yeah,
managers before him were because he picked the right balance. He picked the
mm,
obvious players for each role.
yeah.
Uh, but if you take a step back and look at United, right?
Man, this manager can't
Like,
do any adaptations. Man, he insists on playing the same tired tactic with
yes,
the same build up every attack almost, right? There's
with
no
yeah,
adventure or no. I'm at loss for words at this point. But there's nothing trying new at all with this manager.
no,
He
and the
insists like
biggest
this is
problem
how
is
football must be played and this is how it should be played, and just keeps trying the same thing over and over again. We
exactly,
fired a
but like
manager for doing that.
yeah, but here's the thing, like there is no one way to play football,
Yeah,
right? Like we all know that. Like no two teams in the Premier League, just those 20 teams, none of them play the same way,
even Pep doesn't
right?
play the same way.
And Pep changes from game to game. Pep probably didn't even play the same way.
Yeah.
The last game versus this one. Does every manager have the principles they stick to? Yes. Like a Pep side is going to be comfortable on the ball, is going to try and dominate possession.
Right.
Sure, but you don't know how they're going to do it. There's no one single structure that they're going to employ for 90 minutes to do it.
Yeah,
But
they're not going to
for
play
Amorim,
3-4-3 hoofball every game, right?
and they're not going to sacrifice everything for that structure.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna ask Kevin De Bruyne to play as the deepest man in midfield because that's what.
Dude, imagine that Kevin De Bruyne playing as a number six.
And you know what? If Kevin De Bruyne was told to do that, maybe he could do it just because he's that level of player. We don't have players like that. Even if he want, like Bruno is really good, but Bruno cannot play deep, right? And
Bruno is
that is
no Kevin
nothing
De
to be
Bruyne, man.
ashamed of.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Pep also has a lot of credit in the bank. I think he can get away with tactical changes because
He won
it's
four.
pretty clear.
Okay. Pep won 4 leagues in a row.
Yeah, he
We
can
can't
get
win
away with
4 league
anything.
games in a row.
We can't win two. We haven't won two. This
Yeah.
was our best chance to win 2 games in a
Yeah.
row, and we're back to
And we
square one.
completely massacred it.
Yeah, that guy who has been growing his hair until United wins 5 games in a row in the
He's
league.
going to regret doing that.
What was he thinking?
Yeah.
Like at this point, we won't need aircraft that takes us to the moon. People will just be able to climb on his hair. It's gonna be 2050 by the time we get 5 games in like wins in a row. I think like 2 teams in the league had 5 wins in a row last season. Pool and City. That's it. You like forget United. I mean, we were 15th.
No, I don't think it is not 5 league games. It's just 5 games in all competitions. But even then, when I don't think we're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in any other competitions, so
Yeah, we just got
sure,
out of the
no
League Cup,
team.
so we're not. You're no other competition till
Yeah,
January at this
we're out of the
point.
League Cup, and then there's the FA Cup, and I don't think we're going to do much in that. So good
No.
luck. Like, he's growing his hair till next year at the minimum, or if unless we get some really good
Yeah.
manager out of nowhere. No, but
Man, I
and
really don't understand what the Amorim and people even see at this point. Like, one more thing, right? Since we're talking about tactics,
okay,
so this is what angers me even more when all the Amorim Saf comparisons keep coming about.
okay,
Saf never stuck to a tactic like this. Like, he was the most pragmatic manager ever. Like, he was so pragmatic, you can't pick a tactic and say this is Sir Alex's tactic, right? Because he adapted so much. And the gall of these people
yes,
to compare
yes,
Amorim to Sir Alex, saying that, oh, same points or whatever in first X games, so Amorim will come as good as Sir Alex. That is an insult. Like, Sir Alex probably played every tactic there is over there because he adapted continuously, depending on the opposition and depending on the competition.
yeah, because like, and I think I would trust Sir Alex over Amram because like look at the records. But he did. It's not that Sir Alex didn't have a philosophy. Like I think a lot of people are going to say that oh he just played on the counter attack and that's it. No, it wasn't that simplistic. He yes, there were periods of his time at United where he focused on playing a 4-4-2.
Hmm.
But in Europe, for instance, he almost always preferred a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
He always wanted that extra man in
He
midfield.
did 4-3-3,
And
he did
even
4-2-3-1, and all of those things.
yeah, and if you look at post 2001, we rarely used 4-4-2 even in the league. Yes, there were a lot of occasions where on paper the team looked like that, but it would often devolve into one of the wingers dropping in
Yeah,
centrally. Like
I think after Cole and York left, and I think after Nistelrooy left, we kind of transitioned more to a 4-4-1-1 in the league,
yeah,
which is
because
kind of like
anyway
a
with
4-2-3-1
Nistelrooy,
if you think about it. So,
the entire time we had Ruud van Nistelrooy, we always played a 10 and behind him,
yeah,
right? He was pretty much the focal point, and then
right,
someone like Scholes or Rooney would sit deeper. We played a 4-3-3 with Rooney and Ronaldo on either side, but
right.
he was such a focal point that we didn't really need to play a striker in line with him. So you can exclude that whole period. And even when we won the Champions League, it was Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, right?
Yeah,
My point is just that there's a lot of tactical fluidity. There's a lot of evolution that Sir Alex saw. That's how he stayed competitive. It
right.
was never, I'm going to play a 3-4-3 and
Hmm.
call it a day.
Yeah.
It was never that simple.
So, yeah, I did not see the post match comments from Amorim, but I'm pretty sure he has said some nonsense about needing to suffer. I mean, we keep suffering, that much I know for sure. But
He wasn't wrong. Like,
but yeah, Somdeep, I think before we call it a day for today,
okay,
yeah, because we have gone on for a while already. But
yeah, yeah.
let me ask you. We play Chelsea next.
Oh man, yeah.
We play at home at Old Trafford. Not that that matters at all at this point.
Hmm.
I think even every home game is like an away game under this manager. But given that we play Chelsea at home next, how do you think we will do? Let's have some predictions. The Takeover United predictions. Man
I
United
mean, we
versus
were right about
Chelsea.
today's game. Uh, like I said this. Like I think we're capable of beating City, but we're gonna lose to them. That was my exact prediction, and that's what it has been. Chelsea. I think we'll score because Chelsea have defensive issues and
Hmm.
personnel issues there. But I think Chelsea will score more. So it's going to be a high scoring win for Chelsea. Probably 2-1 or 3-2,
Okay.
something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
Chelsea. Yeah,
and I
Chelsea.
have a bad
Another.
feeling Garnacho is going to score. Like, I know he's going to be up for it. Like, he's going to be shooting from the half line if he can.
Totally, man. Totally.
Yeah.
Um,
For one, I believed that he should have gone to Bayern instead of Chelsea because I thought he'd might get more game time at Bayern,
but
and
we know
it's
why
Bayern.
he's gone to Chelsea.
Yeah, he has gone there to take a dump on Amram's head, and also he's actually right. Uh, they have no left winger at his level. I just realized like Gittins is talented, but he's way more raw than Garnacho is, and he has next to no end product. That guy's
Hmm.
going to start every game on left wing. On the left wing, I'm barring injuries. I think he is going to have plenty of chances against us.
Yeah. And like even today,
What
Chelsea should have
what's
won
your
that game. They just kind of Carvalho had a last gasp equalizer for Brentford, which led
yeah?
to them drawing the game 2-all. Chelsea had a very good second half comeback after
Yes, they did.
conceding in the first half.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean Gittins again started today, but I think soon he will make way,
get
probably
phased
make
out
way. Yeah, depending on how
because
Garnacho
Garnacho
comes
was
up,
involved.
obviously.
Yeah, Garnacho was involved in the second goal. I
Right.
think the Caicedo equalizer. So
Mm-hmm.
like they don't have direct attackers on the left wing who really go for goal. So I think Garnacho's going to give Maresca something the others don't. I'm fairly certain he's going to be starting soon for them. Um, what's your take on what the score will be? Though I'm curious.
Yeah, I think, man, I honestly feel Chelsea are looking pretty good this season.
They've
Uh,
had ups and downs. They've had ups and downs,
sure, they lost. They had one stupid free clause in the first game, right? Um,
right?
and then they pretty much dismantled. Who was that? They won 5-0 or 5-1 against some game. What is it?
Uh,
Yeah, West Ham. They completely destroyed West Ham 5-1.
mhm.
No, they okay. My bad. They didn't lose a game yet this season. They drew to Palace.
They drew twice. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
drew
that's
twice. They drew to Palace and they drew today to Brentford, and then they completely destroyed West Ham, which who is not such bad a team, and
and they beat Fulham, who
and
we
they
failed to beat.
yeah, exactly. They beat Fulham 2-0. So
Yeah.
and that team is looking very good. Like Pedro is crazy up top. Like he's actually scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think like the draw to Crystal Palace, I don't think there's any shame in that. I think Palace are a
Yeah,
really good team who are in great form. Like and
right.
have been so for a while.
Yeah.
Um
So I think I really don't know how we will score any goal against this Chelsea side, to be honest. Um,
I think I think they give up goals. I do think they have that ability because Colville's injured, right, for a
mm,
long time.
yeah.
Oh, and before you predict, Palmer is back scoring again. He
Yeah, yeah.
scored
Palmer
against
is back
Spurs.
from injury and he scored today as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure. Okay. I'll say this. I think we will
Okay.
lose. I'm just the what I'm debating is, will we lose but still at least score a goal, or will we lose to a clean sheet? I think that's pretty much.
Okay.
I think yeah, I honestly don't see us winning, and I won't be surprised. I mean, actually, I'll just say it. I think Ganacho will score this game, and
I think so too. Yeah.
yeah, I think Ganacho will score this game, and seeing some of his immature behaviors over the past few months, I really won't be surprised if he goes and celebrates in Amorim's face. Uh,
I think it's incredibly likely. You can say whatever we say about Garnacho, that guy works hard, man.
yeah,
Like he's not the kind of person who's gonna slack off and just
right.
not try to score.
Yeah, absolutely. So I
Maybe
think, yeah, I mean, he probably will come off the bench. Right. I think he won't be, put into the starting lineup so quickly.
okay. Okay.
Maybe I might be wrong, but I just think he'll probably be
Yeah.
phased in. Today was his first appearance, right?
Right.
So I think
Kind
he
of like a
will.
super sub, you mean?
Yeah, probably a super sub, and yeah, I just think he will be phased in. But yeah, I think Maresca is not an idiot, so he might even start Garnacho
Yeah.
just
You might.
just just to needle him a little more and kind of bring the fire out in him. Because I think everybody knows that Garnacho is going to be fired up as all hell in that game. He'll be
Yeah.
chomping at the bit to score against us.
If we didn't have Euro, I would be worried. It's I'm hoping Euro can keep him in line. Uh,
Man, Yoro is just one player, man.
yeah.
You think Garnacho can't take him on?
I think with Garnacho, I don't know. And I've come to realize with Garnacho, it doesn't matter. He probably can't take anyone on most of the time, but it still doesn't matter. He somehow still finds the back
He
post
will
and
find
still
a way,
gets on
man.
the end of
He'll
passes.
find something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His strength is those runs he makes.
right.
And I don't know if we as a team have the cohesion to defend those runs.
Yeah. Oh man,
This is
it's
weird because I know we're a Manchester United pod, but we've seen that yes, Garnacho's erratic, but he's also a very dangerous attacker.
yeah.
And I think he started well at Chelsea. Yeah, like sure he lost his man for that goal, but that's not his primary job. He played
Hmm.
a role in Caicedo's goal, so I think. Uh, but I guess we sort of agree that it's going to be a score win for Chelsea, like
Yeah,
not
I
a
think
clean sheet.
it's. Yeah, I won't be surprised if it's a big win for Chelsea. Honestly, I'm really scared. I'm really scared.
That's fair. I'm going more towards 2-1 or 3-2 for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think I'll go for like a 3-1 or a 4-1. I think we're going to be destroyed. Especially if we continue to play Bruno and Ugarte in midfield. Uh,
Yeah, then we'll be at a disadvantage
like
for sure because they have Caicedo,
yeah,
right?
and Somdeep, City beat us 3-0 with that midfield, and both of us agree City are not looking the best this season. And
Yes,
I
I
think
agree.
both of us can agree that Chelsea, at on current form, are a much better team than City at this point.
I mean, I think Chelsea have Caicedo, who honestly his ground coverage is
Yeah,
insane. Like we cannot compete with that. Like
imagine
we
Caicedo.
need a
Imagine
midfield
Bruno
three.
and Ugarte going up against Caicedo in midfield, man.
Yeah, I don't know how we keep up with that. And yes, Enzo gets a lot of criticism, but Enzo is still really good on and off the ball,
Right.
right? Uh, and then you add Palmer, who's back in form, and I think Palmer is going to be critical because that's the guy who's going to unlock our five-man defense. Because we know he's going to play five defenders. So, uh, but how do we contend with? I think Palmer is also going to love playing with Garnacho because this is someone who's going to be at the end of
Yeah.
his passes.
Yeah.
We're going to play a nasty low block. I can see it happen. Like there's no other way to survive that game.
And
You get
Cole
overrun.
Palmer will most definitely start the game against us.
100%. Yeah.
He was just coming back from injury today. And even today, Somdeep,
Yeah.
Palmer scored in 5 minutes of coming on.
Yeah, he played really well. Like I think he's been carrying that injury for a while, and it
Yeah.
led to a dip in performances. But he's getting
Again,
back
I
to
think
his best.
Garnacho, did he play up top today? I think he played up top when he came on.
I'm not too sure of that. I know that Chelsea have a striker crisis going on, but I would assume he'll play on the
Yeah,
left wing.
because
At least that's where he
Palmer would
replaced
play on the
Gittins.
left, right? Palmer would play on the left. Or maybe
No,
Tyreek George went ahead. I don't know.
Palmer would play at the 10.
Right, right. Oh, yeah, I think Tyreek
Tyreek,
George might have gone ahead when Garnacho came on.
yeah,
Maybe.
that might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think Garnacho replaced Gittins, who was playing on the left.
No, no. Garnacho
Gittins
replaced
is
Pedro. No, no. Garnacho replaced Pedro. Palmer replaced Gittins. At least the subs was that way.
okay in the subs, sure. Yeah. It's interesting because Gittins is like the exact opposite of Garnacho as a player. Like he can
Hmm.
totally take on his man
Yeah.
and dribble, and he has that like ability to get to the box, but he can't shoot. I mean, like he has no end product,
Right.
like no desire to have end product.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's all. That's all for today from us.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're a United fan, which you probably are if you're watching this pod, yeah, I think at this point, don't take the capitulation too hard. I think, like Amarim said, we have to suffer, and I think we will keep suffering till that clown is kicked out of the club. So try
And a
not
few
to,
more.
yeah, try not to get affected too much. It's going to be a
Yeah.
long season if the board doesn't decide to get rid of him mid-season. Like, if this board really thinks we should give him one full season to take a decision, it's going to be a long season, man.
Yeah. He's only 30 games in.
Man, yeah. I still remember at the end of last season, we tweeted that on January 1st, is not, if Amarim is in the top six or is fighting for top six by reasonable definition, we
Right.
will do an apology pod. So far, I don't think that's happening. And Somdeep, I'll
I,
tell
I,
you,
I don't
the
think
day the
I don't
day we
think that's gonna
posted
happen at all. Like I think we're in the clear.
the
Like
day we
top six. I mean,
no the day we posted that, I had multiple friends because I just sent the tweet to them to needle them, right? Just to
right,
kind of
right.
needle them, I sent the tweet to some United friends who I know are Amarim supporters, and they all were so confident that we will do that pod on January 1st titled "Sorry Ruben Amorim." Uh, I don't think so, man. Nothing like, especially after the Arsenal game, they were sending that tweet back to me saying I'm waiting for that pod, and I was like, dude, we lost the game, despite how we looked.
Yeah, like when did we start celebrating losing a game? I don't get
Dude,
this.
that was the
Like
funniest part. After the Arsenal game, they're sending me the tweet back and saying, I will see you make that pod on January 1st. I'm like, dude, we lost the game. What are you talking about? Uh,
Arsenal scored first,
and that's
and
it.
they just shut shop. And yeah, sure, we got a few chances because they didn't press us much after that. But
Arsenal played that game
uh,
extremely timid. That's what happened that game.
yes, yes,
For some
and
reason,
they
they
have
were
changed.
shit scared about this side.
Yeah, and I think they were just not physically ready. The very next, like I've seen the press, and it's been like on and off, on and off. But with each game, it's improved, and then they beat Forest 3-0 yesterday.
Yeah, and then we drew to Fulham, and then we barely beat Burnley thanks to a 97th minute penalty winner. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think as of this now, this pod sticks to its prediction, overall prediction, that come the new year we will not be in top six or even be fighting for top six, right? So let's say,
yeah,
like,
I
I
agree.
will say this much. Let's say even if we are 10th on January 1st, but let's say we're just 3 points behind sixth, right? Because the table is close or
Mhm.
whatever, I will still do that apology
Sure.
pod for you. Like if you're 10th, but say 2 or 3 points behind, because that's what I said. I said a reasonable definition of fighting for top six. And we were ready to be very charitable. But a charity is running out at this point with the way the side is playing. Uh,
I think with Ruben Amorim, I think the best part is all we have to do is wait.
yeah, just wait.
Like we don't the reasons for why it's not working. Like I think he
Yeah,
keeps coming
dude,
up
I mean,
with.
the injuries have already started, and, He'll probably start playing a second string team. What even is a second string United, man? Not that the first string is any
I
better.
mean, I don't know. He moved all our backups to the bomb
Yeah. Oh
squad,
man,
so we don't
yeah.
have anyone left.
We don't have a
And
bomb.
we
We
didn't even
sold
get
everyone.
money for most of them. We didn't even get money for most of them. No, Rashford's not being bought out. We
Yeah,
don't
they're
have
all
any
on
money for
loans.
it. Yeah. Napoli aren't paying that insane amount of money for Hoyland. Even if he scores, it's still too much money. They're not going to take it. I feel like Rashford and Hoyland are just betting that they'll outlast the manager
Yeah, but
on loan.
no, the funny thing is, Somdeep, that our fans celebrate, and I mean for good reason. I don't blame them for celebrating this particular part, that we have gotten
Okay.
rid of a lot of the dead weight in our side.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the point is, dude, who do we have left? We don't even have backups now. The
Yeah.
squad is
Because
super thin.
I've criticized Holland like many times, even on the podcast, but that's because I didn't see him as starting quality. I certainly thought he was good enough to be a backup for United, and some backup is better than no one at all. Like if tomorrow Sesko is injured, who's playing striker? We don't have
Yeah,
Cunha, we don't have Sesko. Who's playing up front?
we don't have Rashford also.
We don't have Rashford. We don't have any wingers left at the club except Mbuemo who play. Well, no, we have Mbuemo and Ahmad, but one plays right back and one plays in mid in as a 10 now. Like it's crazy. Like
Man,
I don't
man,
get the
man,
squad.
we have three DMs this side. That's it.
And one's 34. One is
Yeah,
Ogate.
yeah.
So
And one is a kid,
it's basically Kobe.
basically.
It's basically Kobe. That's it.
Yeah.
Like if and I love Casemiro. I think he's an incredible player. He still is. But you can't
The
build your entire squad on him.
the only two other midfielders we have is we have a Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount, and both are not DMs.
Once injured again.
Yeah, and why in God's green earth did we send Collier and Dan Gore on loan? But
I don't know. Yeah, I
anyways,
don't know. If we start like
yeah, I think if
it'll
we
be
start, there's going
movie.
to be a whole another
Yeah.
pod, and we will
Yeah.
do a transfer review pod. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we wanted to do one on the international break, but stuff happened and we couldn't get to it. But I
Hmm.
think I mean we probably have another international break coming soon, right? It's first of the season as yeah, the end of yeah, second week of October is international break again. So
That's probably the perfect time
yeah,
to
we'll probably
have that.
do a transfer review pod. I mean, at that point, probably half our side is injured, half our side is out on loan. So we'll probably bring up some under 15 player and play. And yeah, on that sorry note, we wrap up this podcast episode for this sorry excuse of a club and this sorry
Yeah.
excuse of a manager that we have. So it's 1 a.m. here. So yeah,
Oh,
I'll cry myself to sleep. No, actually, no, screw it, man. I don't care about the side anymore. So we'll see you all next week. Hopefully after the
yeah.
Chelsea game, and I think it's going to be a similar pod, guys. Don't have your hopes up.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Pretty
Pretty much.
much, yeah. All right. See you, everyone.